I'd like to demonstrate the cat and puppy stretches on the floor as well as while standing to relieve some back issues that you may have, a muscle you might have pulled, or maybe you slept too long on one side and you feel like there's something that is out of balance. So the first thing that I'd like to demonstrate is how we position the feet before we begin this movement. So the feet have to be in mountain pose, and if you are not familiar with yoga, mountain pose is a positioning or a posture that, by virtue of its name, is a positioning of the body that is solid, steady, and strong. And what does that mean in terms of how we place our feet? So the feet are placed hip width apart, and the feet are placed parallel. So parallel is something that we all understand visually, but what does hip width apart mean? So you want to place your feet so that your hip bones line up with the middle toes. And a really good cue to create that positioning is to place your feet 1 foot width apart. Okay? And for most of us, that will place your feet hip width apart. Once you have that in place, you have the anatomical safety and the anatomical stability in any movement that you engage in, therefore. Okay? So this is the movement this is the positioning of my feet that I will have when I show you the movement. Okay? And then let me give you a side view because that's what I want to show. So my feet are in mountain feet. I'm now bending the knees, placing my hands just above the knees. Okay? And the first movement is it's called a puppy stretch. And this is where, and I'll add the breath to it once I demonstrate the positioning or the movement, is where we glide the shoulders. So notice that I have a natural curve in my spine. We all have a natural curve in our spine. In the first movement, you want to exaggerate that natural curve. Okay? So here we are, knees bent, hips bent, shoulders glide back, tailbone is lifted. And as you lift the tailbone, you allow the middle of the vertebral column to dip down. So the belly button and the spine come towards the floor. Shoulders glide back, gaze slightly up. So space between your chin and your chest. Okay? And then the reverse is where we now round the back. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Okay? And again, tailbone lifts, shoulders glide back, exaggerated curve in your spine, gaze slightly up. And then the reverse. Shoulders round, back rounds. You slightly unbend the knees when you do this. Chin tucks in, tailbone tucks in. And again, so the breath in is when you do the tailbone lifting, shoulders gliding back. And then the breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. So in the reverse, you're bringing the belly button and the spine towards the ceiling. Okay? Let me show you the same movement on the floor. Okay? So coming onto your knees. I always like to place additional support underneath my knees. Okay, if you don't need it, that's fine. So knees are together or slightly apart. Hands come to rest underneath the shoulders. And we are now in a stable table or a neutral table, which means that the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Okay, again, anatomical safety, anatomical alignment is the most important part of our practice. Once you are here, you want to ensure that the space between your hands and your knees is roughly the length of your torso. Okay, toes can be curled in. I prefer to rest on the tops of my feet. From here, breathing in, tailbone lifts, shoulders glide back, gaze slightly up, belly button and spine are dipping towards the floor. Breathing out, tailbone tucks in, chin tucks in, rounding the back, rounding the spine. And again, breathing in and breathing out. So let me offer the explanation again. Breathing in, shoulders glide back, gaze slightly up, tailbone has lifted, belly button and spine are dipping towards the floor, okay? Exaggerating that natural curve in the spine. Breathing out, shoulders round, back rounds, chin tucks in, tailbone tucks in, belly button and spine come towards the ceiling. And again, breathing in, breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in, breathe out. Try these, because what you do when you do these movements is you stretch and strengthen the tiny muscles that connect each vertebra to the other. And you heal them. When you bring movement in the body, you bring healing, you bring better blood flow, you warm up those muscles. Try the movement, and I hope it helps.